This city is my home. As more people move in, space becomes even more limited. Developing west into our Everglades or east into our oceans is not an option for us. In today's society, we create a lot of waste.
I think I have an idea that can help. Hi, my name is Lynette Sobel and I'm with the Fertile Earth Foundation. Soil is one of the building blocks of life, and today we're going to teach you how to make some of that soil by composting. Composting is basically the act of taking anything that once used to live and turning it back into soil. Composting helps protect our community and the Everglades by protecting our air quality, soil quality, water quality, and mitigating climate change. The basic principles of composting involve two things: the right amount of moisture and the right amount of oxygen. Depending on what type of composting you want to do, you also may need the right mix of food to carbon. In my house, we use a bin like this, and we put all our food waste in there, and once a week, we take it out and we process it. But you can use any bin. Anything that you want to use, you can use. The moisture and oxygen are necessary because what actually does the work of composting are actually the microbes. When you use a system like worms are just a catalyst. What they do is they create an environment that's very, very, very amenable to having lots of microbes.
There are many different ways to compost. Let's check out the 3 most common.
This is a typical hot composting system. I like it because it makes things easy. What happens here is that you start with the first bin, and you layer it. You start with your browns, which are all your hard woody material. Then you put your food, and then you put your browns again. Your food, your browns, your food, your browns. You stop with your browns. A 3-bin system like this can take anywhere between 2 to 4 hours to actually construct. All you need are some pallets, a power drill, some screws or nails, and your time. I prefer getting some free pallets from your local supermarket, hotel, or stadium, and from there, you can use mulch, which is free and plentiful. You can go to the City of Miami mulching facility on Virginia Key. You can go to FP&L and have them deliver you mulch, or you can contact your local landscaper and let them know that you want their mulch. Once it's all constructed, in about 1 to 3 months, you'll get your finished compost.
Now let's check out the easiest way to compost.
Cold composting is another way to compost. It's a very simple method where you take chicken wire usually and you put it into a circle and then you throw everything in. It's mostly used for yard debris, although you can put food in the middle as long as it's covered up with the yard debris. It costs about probably $10 at your local hardware store, and it takes about 5 minutes to set up.
If you live in an apartment like I do, worm composting may be the most convenient option for you.
With worms, you don't need much space. All you need is some room underneath your kitchen sink or some space in your closet. Worm composting is just the act of using earthworms in order to process your garbage into treasure. You get a container. Any container will do. Poke some holes underneath so that there's drainage, and put it in some other container that will keep the water that drains out. Some people think composting smells, but actually, if you do it correctly, it should never smell. As long as you keep the food covered with any type of dry brown material, your worms should be okay, and you should never have any smells. And then when you feed the worms, just take back the bedding, put the food in, and cover it back up again. Make sure that you water them at least once a week. Keep them nice and wet. The important thing to know about earthworms is that you need to get composting earthworms. Composting earthworms are the ones that you find eating the cow patties in a cow pasture. They're not the ones that you find in your garden or in your fishing store. So if you want to find them, go out to your local cow pasture and start looking underneath the cow patties, or you can also order them online from us. The advantage of composting with worms is your final product. The final product is by far the most nutritious compost that we know of. You can actually grow your plants up to twice as fast as with normal compost or with normal soil. We hoped you learned a little something about composting, but if you'd like to learn more, feel free to contact us. Join our newsletter to get updates about our regular workshops we host throughout the year, all about composting, gardening, and other sustainable activities. Composting is easy and is something everybody can do. We hope you'll give it a try.
Happy composting!